Welcome to the MCDA Virtual Awards. This summer, we met in person in Springfield for an absolutely amazing week together of camaraderie, learning, singing. It was just awesome. Choral music head to heart gave us everything we needed to start our year, and we're so thankful for that time together. If you were present, we celebrated in person our award recipients, but we're also hosting these virtual awards so we can celebrate with those who weren't able to attend, and also because we want to hear from each of our award recipients. Kevin Macbeth, our president-elect, will now announce the outstanding district directors.
Congratulations to the 2022 MCDA Outstanding District Directors. These directors were nominated and selected from their peers within the district. Central, Michael Falk. East Central, Katie Sykes. Kansas City Metro, Jonathan Krinke. Northeast, Mike Pearson. Northwest, Mark Pennington. South Central, Aaron Plisco. Southeast, Barb Lamont. Southwest, Hope Rogers. St. Louis Metro, Jody Kratzer. St. Louis Suburban, Jim Henry. West Central, Kip Matthew.
The Teresa Jo Wilson Memorial Scholarship was established to honor the love and dedication Teresa had for music education. Her career spanned 39 years and 2 states where she taught singers in every grade from kindergarten to undergraduates. Teresa loved her students above all else, and she endowed them with the gift of high self-expectations. Her mark on MCDA will be evident for years to come. She served our choral family in a variety of capacities as R&S chair for children and youth choirs and high school choirs, honor choir coordinator, district representative for St. Louis Metro, and as a resource for our beginning teachers, but most importantly, as a loving friend and mother. On a personal note, I remember vividly sharing a concert with Teresa Jo at the Folly Theater in Kansas City for an ACDA conference, and I can tell you it was a bonding experience for the two of us that we often would bring up in conversation. It was clear that she loved choral music, and even to my young self, I knew that she was a choral rock star in our state, and she was so accommodating to me as a young choral director, as she was for countless others. Before her fight against breast cancer ended in 2013, she established a fund through MCDA to support a music education upperclassmen in our state to encourage their completion of their studies and to bring attention and support to these wonderful people who represent the future of choral music in Missouri. It is with great pride that I announce Michael Damron as this year's recipient of the Teresa Jo Wilson Memorial Scholarship. Michael is a senior at Missouri State University, and in her insightful essay about the strengths of an effective music educator, she wrote about the bond created when people make music together and what an awesome responsibility and privilege we have each time we work with a choir. This rising star of a teacher understands early that it is people who make our profession so great. From wherever you are watching, please join me in congratulating Michael Damron as this year's recipient of the Wilson Memorial Scholarship.
In the spring of each year, MCDA accepts nominations for the Prelude Award, the Podium Award, and the Luther T. Spade Award. After the nominations are received, they are shared with and voted on by the elected members of the Executive Board. These members include the 11 district representatives, the president, past president, and president-elect. One additional award is the Opus Award, and this one is for an outstanding choral composition. This award is voted on by the current resource chairs. The Opus Award is presented to a composition exemplifying the highest standard in choral music. This composition must either be written by a Missouri composer or commissioned by a Missouri ensemble. This year's recipient of the Opus Award is O Radix Iese, composed by James Davidson.
I'd like to thank MCDA for this award. It's actually very unexpected. I wrote this piece in the fall of 2020 when I had a very small, distanced, masked group of Drury singers. and we were trying to do a broadcast of our Christmas Vespers, which is a tradition at Drury that's been going on for decades upon decades. And I was looking for a text to fit the Isaiah prophecy of the rod of Jesse, and I think I'd already programmed every low, how, or rose in my career at this point. So I'd landed on this text, which is a little bit underset, just based on what I'm seeing, and decided to give it a go. It's really the first piece that I've written that I've had one of my groups perform. So as I said, this is very unexpected, but very appreciated. So thank you very much. And hopefully this isn't the last piece you'll hear from me in the future, maybe. Thank you.
The Podium Award is presented to a member of MCDA who has made an exemplary contribution to the choral art as evidenced by a distinguished performance. The recipient of this year's Podium Award has persevered through the craziest, most challenging, and downright impossible time in the history of our art form. Despite all the challenges, a choir made up of primarily non-music majors sang with incredible vocal skill, a compelling passion, and a sheer love of music making and singing. This choir gave 2 performances, one at the 2022 MMEA conference and another slightly different program at the Southwest Regional ACDA conference in Little Rock, Arkansas. Personally, I cannot think of a more timely or perfect conductor or ensemble to celebrate. A skilled female conductor moving and motivating the most powerful and passionate performance from her choir of treble voices. I can remember few, if any, standing ovations that happened more immediately than the well-earned ovation the audience gave at the conclusion of the performances by the Missouri State University Women's Chorus. The recipient of the 2022 Podium Award is Dr. Erin Plisko.
Thank you, MCDA. I am so honored and grateful to be a part of this incredible community. There's nothing more special than making and sharing music with this family of amazing musicians and teachers. Moving here 4 years ago, I couldn't have imagined a more supportive community if I tried. I feel as though I've been a member of MCDA from the very beginning of my life. Having the opportunity to perform at MMEA last January was a mountaintop experience for me and especially for my students, and I know it's an experience that we'll never forget. So thank you so much for supporting them. The love and support of this community is everything, and I tell everyone that everywhere I go, and I'm so fortunate to be here in Missouri doing what I love with people I love. I also have to single out my dear friend and colleague, Cameron LaBar, for everything he's done to support me from day one. You're the best. Thanks again, MCDA. I love you all so much.
The Jeff Sanquist Presidential Award of Excellence is presented at the will of the president of MCDA to recognize extraordinary service or dedication to our organization. Service, that's what MCDA is about, and it is hard work. It takes time away from your family. It's constant texting and emailing, having grace with other people. It's being relied upon to always follow through and make things happen. Our Presidential Award recipient embodies this very definition of service. She has organized literally hundreds of honor choirs, not only during her 22-year tenure in Missouri, but also for SWACTA. This year, getting our honor choir program up and running after a 3-year hiatus with new venues was a tremendous task with many challenges. But this move to Springfield and the use of Hammond's Hall, this has elevated our honor choirs to a whole new level, and none of this would have happened without the steady leadership and guidance of a skilled and generous leader. I am honored to present the Jeff Sanquist Presidential Award of Excellence to our lead honor choir coordinator, Jana Fox.
I would like to thank MCDA for selecting me for this award. It is truly an honor to receive the Jeff Sanquist Service Award. Most importantly, I would like to thank all of the individual coordinators that I've had the privilege to work with over the past 22 years. I am so happy to have gotten to know them and to work with them and to see the wonderful work they do. I would also like to thank the hundreds of volunteers that helped make this day a success. I would encourage all of you to find a place to serve in MCDA.
According to the selection criteria, recipients of the Luther T. Spade Award demonstrate excellence in choral music training, performance, and scholarship with a long-standing commitment to choral music in Missouri, positive communication with colleagues, and active participation through service and leadership in MCDA. Will the past recipients of the Luther T. Spade Award please stand and be recognized? Tonight's distinguished recipient of the Spade Award is another example of a music educator who embodies the legacy of Luther T. Spade. His professional accomplishments are numerous and memorable, and so are the leadership roles that he has had within MCDA. Nothing captures his spirit better than the words of his own students, who are now his colleagues. I loved the music making, but that's not what inspired me. Rather, it was the clear focus on relationships and community above all else that he employed in his classroom. Now, I'm on the other side, and it's obvious that he didn't reserve these ideals just for the choir room. He cares and serves others in every aspect of his life. Another person writes, his strong handshakes shaped countless kids throughout his teaching career. He didn't have to answer the phone or take time out of a busy day to call me. He did that because that moment, it changed my life. He is a life changer. He is a life changer, and that is his legacy. With admiration, I present the Luther T. Spade Award to William T. Grega.
Thank you, Amy, and thank you, Executive Board of Missouri Choral Directors Association. Please accept my heartfelt appreciation for this award. Allow me to introduce my family who is with us this evening. My wife, Debbie, who in addition to being a pickleball addict, gave a great session this week for MCDA, sharing her views from the secondary principal's perspective. My dear mother and father-in-law, who moved down here from Lincoln, Nebraska 2 years ago. We bought the house directly behind ours, did a full HGTV style renovation, and now we live our very own version of Everybody Loves Raymond. My son Austin and his girlfriend Michaela. Austin taught middle school and high school choral music for the last 4 years, and now is changing teams to lead the orchestra program at Glendale High School in Springfield this year. My daughter, Chandler, is a CPA with a large firm in Kansas City, and in October will be getting married to one of my favorite people, Josh Ballard, who will teach 3rd grade in Raytown schools. And finally, my business partner, Andrew Doolittle, and his wife, Morgan. The Luther T. Spade Award. Wow. Luther T. Spade was dean of the Sweeney Conservatory of Music at Central Methodist, where he was on faculty from 1930 until October of 1972, upon his death. It's coming up on 50 years. He taught organ, music theory, ear training, and was the director of the famed Central Methodist a cappella choir. When I was a young teacher, many of Luther Spade's students were still teaching and would be quick to tell a story of their beloved Prof. Spade. They spoke of his command as a choral director and would light up telling about his manner and the outstanding quality of the a cappella choir as if it was Missouri's very own St. Olaf. Without fail, these former members would intently share that the audience could never figure out how the choir received their pitch. And it was as if they had a secret that they were not at liberty to divulge. You see, Luther T. Spade provided an example of excellence for his singers. He was an inspiration. Examples and inspirations. Isn't that why each of us are here tonight? The example, the inspiration of someone in our life that made us want to teach, made us want to connect with singers in a meaningful fashion, made us want to have kick-ass choirs. What was it that, think of the person that came across you and inspired you. What was it that they exhibited that struck a chord with you? You were drawn to their example, their inspiring words or their manner or just their love of living. That's why you're here tonight. That's why you took time out of your life to be at the conference, because someone inspired you and provided an example. Someone who viewed you as special. I'm so grateful for the examples and inspirations in my life. Marty Johnson, my choral director at Fox High School, all I wanted to be was Mr. Johnson. He set such a great example for me of how to connect with singers and how to build a team, a family. Mr. Johnson's example as a master motivator and loving what he did captured me day after day. At Culver Stockton, Larry McSpadden set an example of how to rehearse the hell out of a choir and expect the highest results every day. And it was inspiring to witness Mr. McSpadden's passion for creating art through music at the highest level. And then the examples and inspirations MCDA has provided for me for over 35 years is beyond my comprehension. The opportunities to serve the organization has been key to developing me as a choral director and as a leader. But the summer conferences, that's inspiration. Always powerful, always an unwelcome wake-up call that I better get busy because stuff is getting ready to happen in a couple weeks. But it was always the springboard and the kick in the butt that I needed. And you know, the sessions are important to me, but it was the after-hour times. The late-night sessions with my pal Mark Cotter, when we would have a cocktail or two in our room, sharing our joys and struggles in teaching and raising our families as husbands, as fathers, and as serial home renovators. But it never got better than after a couple more cocktails that one of us would pull out a piece of choral music that was important to us and share the poetry, share the text, and then sit there and choke up like a couple of old women. Now that's a good conference for me. Earlier, you took a moment to reflect on those who was an example and inspiration that brought you to this profession. But what is your example? Who will you be inspiring? Who's watching you? You know, hopefully the storm of the last 2 years is passing over. Look forward to the reset. Look ahead to enjoying normalcy. Get out there and teach the heck out of the singers. They need you. They need you. Whether they're 8 years old or 18 or 88, they are looking to you. Maybe not because they want to be a choral director someday, but because they need your example. They need your inspiration to get through that day. For some, you are who they have. You are who they look to. Will your example always be inspiring? Probably not, but they will witness how you handle the good times and the difficult times. And they will be witness to your grit. Be brave and inspire. That's what they need. And be grateful for the opportunity to lead and love and make music. And I encourage you to make MCDA a part, continue to make MCDA a part of your life. Find a way to attend the conference every year. Be involved. Lead. MCDA needs you, and you need the organization. My life flows on in endless song, above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, though far off hymn, that hails the new creation. Louder. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It finds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? My heart is overwhelmed by the honor of the Luther T. Spade Award. Please raise your glasses. To the example and inspiration of Luther T. Spade and to the success of Missouri Choral Directors Association, cheers.
It is pretty humbling to see the tremendous work happening in every corner of our state. Remember that any member of MCDA can nominate a colleague for an award. The submission window is already open, and you can find all of the information on our website, moacda.org. Thanks for watching.
I love to sing.